Rightio. So, today is a rest day inside of the new training block because it's 3 on, 1 off. And I tell you what, I have been so sore from our 3 training days so far. It is wild. Either my body is just really not recovering, or it is extremely effective to switch up the training routine, change workout order, and change the rep and set count to what we're doing now. But today is cardio and abs. We got to go get that done here in a little while. I've spent the day actually working on the gazebo, so this will be a gazebo update, part number 4 for that. Excuse all the sticks and everything. We had some crazy winds and it broke a bunch of little branches and stuff off this tree. But I got the 2 roof panels up, installed, the interior truss brackets, the diagonal's done. There's hardware up here that holds each one of these roof panels together up there, along with the brackets down here. So we've made some progress, and I tell you what, this thing looks pretty good out here. What you doing, puppy dog? And I've got my fat little doggy out here. She's doing her on Chunks. What you doing with your cool little bandana? But let's get a view of this thing from the front. So when you walk out, you got the little ponds here, those things running. Nice little gazebo. I've already got a propane fire pit that actually is going to go in here. That'll be centered up. Got that last year. It's just under one of our other gazebos on the other side of the yard by the pool. That one kind of doesn't really get used much other than just for storage really during the winter time. But I tell you what, I'm gonna go get my 3rd meal in, then we're gonna go get some cardio done, then we'll do abs, and then also my new leg curl leg extension machine showed up. So I'm gonna do another video on that, assembling that. Then we'll see how I'll have to program that now into my schedule. Since I got a new machine, we got to get our leg curls and leg extensions in, which I am excited about that. That is going to make some real quad growth, real hamstring growth. So that's going to be real cool. So let me go ahead and go eat. We'll get out on our walk, get our cardio done. I'll bring you back for abs, because I got to get in 10,000 steps today, which is 5 miles. And I'm at like 5,500, 6,000 just from working on the gazebo today. So luckily the walk won't be too long today. So it'll be real nice. Got to go knock out about 2.5 miles. That'll be real easy. So I'll see you guys on the walk. Alrighty guys, so we just got back from doing our cardio. We finished up our 10,000 steps for today. So now we're going to go ahead and get into doing our abs for today, which is going to be cable crunches, leg lifts, and axe chops. So these are going to focus a lot of the upper and mid abdominal by doing cable crunches, and then doing leg lifts is going to get our lower mid abdominals along with some of the hip flexor. And then doing axe chops will hit all of our abdominals plus our obliques and some of the spinal erectors. So overall, we should be targeting just about everything in the core in some sort of variation. So now doing cable crunches always looks kind of funny because the range of motion is just not that large. But I'm gonna go ahead and knock out 4 more sets of those off camera, just because it's not that boring, or pretty boring. Don't really have much to really talk about on the front of doing abs, other than we're just kind of going through the motions. So let me bring you guys back when I get to axe drops. So with our axe drops, or cable swings, or twists, kind of whatever you really want to call them. For me, I like to make sure I'm starting here, arms kind of out. It puts quite a bit of load, like not all the way out, but to where my elbows are braced into the front of my core. And I'm always going to start from this mid position. I'm not going to swing all the way around. I want to leave the tension on the core at all times and just go from here to here, while trying to make sure that my hips themselves are staying forward. And those will light up your core. If you haven't been doing them in quite a while, you'll notice how weak all of those extra muscles are. And that's if you've done them before and stopped doing them. And if you have never done them, you will really notice how hard it is to like keep yourself stable and just smoothly twist through that position and just keeping load on it. But with that, I'm gonna go ahead and knock out the rest of the sets for both sides on these. Then I'll bring you back for leg raises. All right, my upper and mid abs are on fire. My obliques, a little bit of the like spinal erectors are definitely quite a bit pumped up. Now, if you're doing a lot of axe chops often, or a lot of like oblique work specifically, you got to keep in mind that you're going to be a little more square looking coming from your lats down into your waist. You're going to lose a little bit of that V taper. So if you are trying to keep that V taper, try not to train the obliques too much, but do it some, because it will prevent injuries in the long run. Because that core strength is a big preventer of having injuries from like bench press and deadlifts and squats and all sorts of things, or just picking things up randomly like your dog or whatever. That's how you end up blowing out your back. But now we're going to go ahead and go into leg raises, but they're actually going to be knee ups in this configuration because this bar is a little short, so I can't really keep my legs straight. But I'm also not quite flexible and or strong enough to do leg raises without a braced support. So it kind of is what it is at the same time at the moment. Let's go ahead and get these things knocked out. Oh, man. Oh, those are going to suck. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get those finished up. And then that kind of takes care of the rest of today. Really, it's an active rest day. I am going to end up rearranging the hack squat. I've got to turn that thing. And then my new leg extension leg curl machine showed up. So I'm probably going to go ahead and spend the night or next hour and a half or so assembling that thing and do an extra little review video for that. That review video will be for next cardio day. That way we've got something to talk about. It'll be a little bit of a review, and then, you know, we don't really need to talk too much about doing steps and abs since you just saw it today. Like, we'll touch on them, but here and there, but preferably not every cardio ab day is going to be talking about cardio and abs. So I'll have to come up with some topics just like I do for the other lifts for the first part of it before I go ahead and go into music and just bang out the rest of the sets. That way we have a little talking point to go over and, you know, get some ideas across. But with that, guys, make sure you're working towards your goals, getting your stuff done, and most of all, just don't be a lazy fuck.